Got the Mac, nigga, tell me what you gonna do. Yeah, niggas wanna stick me for my paper. 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 They heard about the road.
All right. I can't do too much. I don't own the rights. What's up, everybody, man? BJ's on Sports Like Conduct. I'm your host, BJ Vernon, the Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, the Big Vanilla Shack, the Creamy Kobe, the Blue Eye Barkley, VA's Top Talk Boy, Mr. Never Shut Up, and the Big Vanilla Color Card. Because sometimes in sports talk, the color card's got to be dealt. And when it does need to be dealt, I am your Vegas dealer, man. I want to join everybody. Welcome everybody joining in live right now on my YouTube channel, Vessel Sports. Appreciate you guys. Everybody that's over here on my IG, I already see people jumping in on me right here. We about to get it in. Hey, yo, the end hour. Call me, B. Get in on this show. Talking Ben Simmons, talking Doc Rivers, Western Conference Finals, and just the way sports talk is going, and just the NBA overall. So I want to start with this. And y'all see, I still got the belt. I'm still the champ. What's up, Laquita? I see you in there, baby girl. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you and my man jumping in here. Thanks, Laquita. Say what's up. All right. Y'all see, I'm still the champ. I got the belt. I'm still the title holder. I'm still the independent sports talk champion. Whether y'all like it or not, it don't matter if y'all like it or not. It is what it is. Like Ric Flair used to say, you ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta love it. You ain't even gotta respect it, but you better learn to live with it, baby, because it's happening. All right. So listen, I'm gonna get right into this, right into the show today, and just how I view this whole Ben Simmons thing. Ben Simmons is just getting killed. Some of it I agree with, and some of them I'm kind of like, I'm not sure that I agree with Ben Simmons getting killed the way that he's getting killed. I will say this, though. We have got to stop, and I've said this time and time before. I've said this on other platforms. I've said this on other shows. We have got to stop trying to make players and coaches in sports what we want them to be instead of just seeing them for who they are and you know what they give us. And there's two elements of that with the Philadelphia 76ers. There's Ben Simmons, and then there's Doc Rivers. And I'm going to start with Ben Simmons because I wrote these notes. I swear to you, these were written before tonight. These aren't notes that I just wrote. I wanted to do this segment on Ben Simmons on another guy's show, and I just didn't get a chance to get onto the show. So I still had these notes, and I'm not going to try to go the route of I knew it, I called this, I knew Ben wouldn't show. No, I'm not. What I did, though, is I asked questions. And my only one question is, how is Ben Simmons not considered the best player in basketball? How? I just want to know how. How is he not considered the best player in basketball? 6'10", 240. He's all NBA defensive team, first team twice. So you know he's going to be rangy on the perimeter. You know he can shut people down. Trae Young shot 5 of 23, guys. Let's just be real. Trae Young shot 5 of 23. He literally went out and shut Trae Young down. He shut him out of that game. Do you take him off of Trae Young and put him on Herter? Because Herter's the one that was busting their ass. Almost had a 30 burger. Had Quavo put on his sweaty ass jersey that he just wore during the game and walk into the locker room and celebrate with the Hawks wearing his sweat. That's the type of effect Herter had on the game. Should you have to pull Ben Simmons off? Put him on Herter more? He led the league in steals in 19 and 20. So 2019, 2020, he led the league in steals. He was rookie of the year. And then you go to his numbers this season. And it's 14, 7, and 7. And I'm trying to figure out, how is that not 25, 9, and 9? It's 11 extra points. So it's 3 or 4 extra buckets. There's 8. If one's a 3, there's 9. And 2 free throws. Probability of you adding 10 points to your point per game in the NBA, you're going to add 2 more rebounds, 2 more assists. That's where I come up with 25, 9, and 9. How is Ben Simmons not a 25, 9, and 9 guy? Well, I'll tell you, first of all, he shoots 60% from the free throw line. Pump the brakes on that. There's been guys that shot poorly, piss poor from the free throw line. Giannis is a piss poor free throw shooter. Shaq was a piss poor free throw shooter, and they're both averaging over 25 a night. So we can't even go there. He can't shoot. He needs to work on his jumper. He can't shoot. He needs to work on his jumper. Philly staff tells us he works on it. Is there too much hanging out? Is there too much Kardashian or Jenner or whatever one he's messing with? or whatever other girlfriend that he has. Somebody posted her picture today. It was like, Ben Simmons blew last night, but man, he gets to go home to this. I commented back on the Twitter. It's like, what's so good about her? Why? Because she's perceived to look good. This is this man's livelihood. This is his way he makes his money. This is the way that he prepares himself in life financially to either be okay or not be okay. Is by playing the sport of basketball. There's not a lot of NBA players that's like, oh, well, I stunk ass tonight, but I get to go home to a baddie. Trust me. That's not how it goes. That's how you stupid, young, ignorant millennials think. Many of these guys got baddies, 3 and 4 of them, different states, different cities. Then we just find out Carmelo got some newborn twins. Like, Carmelo, whoa, pump the brakes, bro. Like, I mean, like, I'm one to talk, right? But Carmelo, damn, dog. But they say he works on it. Is it too much going on off the court? Who is Ben Simmons? How is he not the best player in the league? Like, how? I'm really seriously trying to figure that out. And I just want to, I'm trying to figure like, who is it? People say you can work on your Jason Kidd worked on this shot, guys. Jason Kidd is a number 10 all time, I believe, or number 11 all time in 3-pointers made. Number 12, somewhere like 10 or 11 or 12. And when he first came into the league, they used to call him Asen Kid. And everybody's like, why y'all calling him Asen? Because he's got no J. It was a running joke back then. But he ends up being a top 15 3-pointers made in history in his career in the NBA. Why? Because he wanted to work on it. LeBron James is a better 3-point shooter and better all-around jump shooter. Why? Because he wanted to work on it. Kobe Bryant became a better 3-point shooter and a better all-around shooter, jump shooter, leaner, fall away, floater, fade away. I mean, everything. Why? Because he wanted to work on it. He wanted it. Does Ben Simmons want it? Is the question. The ability is not a question to me. The whole he can't shoot. Oh, there's a lot of guys that couldn't shoot. Magic Johnson couldn't shoot when he came into the league, but he got better at it. Vince Carter couldn't really shoot when he came into the league. If I ask you guys, where does Vince Carter rank right now of 3-pointers made in an NBA career all time in the National Basketball Association without looking it up? I guarantee you I can ask 100 people and 94 of them will get it wrong. Probability 6 are going to guess and be right. 6 will guess and be right just by probability. But most people will not know where he ranks. It's number 6, people. And you would never think of Vince Carter as a 3-point shooter, but he wanted to get better at it and he wanted to work on it. Does Ben Simmons want to work on it? Who is Ben Simmons? My question back is he a hard worker? Then I can tell you who he is. If he's not a hard worker and he doesn't want to get better, he's the Ben Simmons that we have. Stop trying to make him something that he's not. Stop trying to make Chris Middleton something that he's not. Stop trying to make Kuzma something that he's not, Laker fans. I don't care what he says. I was at the courts today, took my man Cameron, my son, out to the basketball court. That's our new thing. We go to the court, go to the hoop court, hang out. I dribble around a little bit, take a few little jumpies, you know what I mean? Just to see if I still got the jumper, see if I still got the vanilla stroke. In more ways than one. That's what she said. I know. I'm so immature. I'm so sorry. I can't help myself. But it's you take them out to the court. It's the vibe. It's basketball, and then of course, guys get to talking about the games. This one guy, we got to the conversation. We're talking about 10 minutes in. He goes, "Well, I'm a Laker fan." I said, "Well, yeah, I could tell because most of the stuff you're saying are favoring why the Lakers aren't playing or what happened or this and that, blah blah blah." I get all of that. That's fine. I said, but you guys need to lay off Kuzma. Oh, Kuzma said he wanted to be the third wheel. I said, okay, but just because he said it doesn't mean that he is, and doesn't mean that the team is constructed for him to be the third wheel. When LeBron and AD got hurt, the shots that went up were for Caldwell Pope and Dennis Schroeder. Their shots went up per game. Dennis Schroeder went up to 18 shots per game. And then you want Kuzma to come out of nowhere and kind of help save the season. That's not going to happen. That's not who he is. Stop trying to make players who we want them to be. Ben Simmons might just be who Ben Simmons is, guys. And he was a number 1 overall pick, but he's he's going to be an all-time perimeter defender. He's going to make all defensive first team at least 3 or 4 more times in his career. Should he want the jumper? Yes, he should want the jumper. Somebody put up an article and slammed that Kobe. This, I guess it was 2017 or 2018, where Kobe said if he does not develop some type a jump shot, he's gonna regret it at the end of his career. He's gonna sit and go, "Why, man? Why didn't I work more on my jumper?" Because everything that he has now, I just told you guys, if he's 25, 9, and 9, those are past LeBron numbers at that age. He would almost be averaging a triple double at 22, 23 years old. That would be phenomenal. We would be calling Ben Simmons the best player in the game. And my question when I first wrote these notes was, why isn't he the best player in the league? He flat out should be. Ben Simmons should be the best player in basketball, but maybe it's not who he is, guys and girls, ladies, queens, kings, homegirls, my homies, my ninjas, my ninja-ettes. Maybe it's just not who he is. And I'm fine with that. I think fans, we are so invested, overly invested in these athletes. You can be overly invested in a sport or a team. I don't mind that. But to be overly invested of other human beings that's not your children and your family. I mean, I love Kobe, man. Kobe was my guy, but I am not gonna. I've never been in an argument where I made myself look like an ass because I'm trying to really talk Kobe and defend Kobe. That I would say something that would actually go against my morals or against my self judgment or just against my self awareness levels. That's extremely unattractive, male or female. But that's what sports fans have turned into. Y'all burning the man jersey. Oh, where have we seen this before? Be original, people. It's almost like the hater word. I tell people, dude, come up with something else to say in a sports debate than you're being a hater. Actually use some debative skills. Throw some evidence and some facts down, some situations, some game film we could go back and see. Give me some of that. Because what you're giving me right now is whack. It's lame. It's doing nothing for me. But maybe Ben Simmons just is who he is. Russell Westbrook, I like him, but maybe he's just a triple double and high intensity, give it his all every night, every play, every game. I get all of that, but that doesn't mean you're a champion. We tell people if you do all of that, you'll be a champion. That's not true. Marino gave it his all. Every play, every down, every throw, every game, every read, every pump fake, he gave it his all. There's nothing left. 17 years for the Dolphins at the quarterback position as the starter, only missing half or a little more than half of one season, tearing his Achilles, stepping in a pothole in Cleveland. And he doesn't have a championship. Jim Kelly, I'm sure, busted his ass every day. He didn't have a championship. Karl Malone busted his ass every day, worked hard, dedicated himself to the game, ate right, trained right. I don't know about all that. There's some other stuff that he did, but we ain't talking about that. I'll let y'all talk about that on another show. But I know he did all of what we tell people you were supposed to do to be a champion. But sometimes it just don't rock like that. But you can look at him and go, but he gave it his all and he worked on his game and he got better at everything. You could say that about him. Will we be saying that about Ben Simmons? And he is just getting lambasted today. I cannot remember a player getting this just throttled on every level possible. He has already been put on 10 new teams, sent to China to play for the Shanghai Sharks. I mean, it's crazy. I don't remember playing getting this lambasted within 24 hours of a loss, even in a game 7. I mean, if this kid's psyche is not strong, and I told somebody this earlier today, if his psyche is not strong, he's in a lot of trouble. If his psyche's not strong and not together. If his psyche's strong and if he goes away this summer, I wouldn't go play for Australia. What's more important? Finishing 4th or 5th or 6th or 8th in the Olympics for Australia, or locking yourself away for the next 3 months and working on your jump shot. Ben Simmons doesn't have anything else in his game that needs to improve but the simple fact of the number one thing in the game, and that's putting the biscuit in the basket. Period. You got to put that biscuit in that basket. When you go get you a little basket of chicken, you go get you a little bucket of chicken. It ain't complete till you put the biscuits in there. The chicken is there. The mash and the coleslaw's on the side. Corn on the cob is wrapped in a plastic bag. But they forgot to put the biscuits in the basket? That's incomplete. That's an incomplete meal. And that is the most important part of the meal is the bit. Why do people go to Popeyes? It ain't the chicken, it's them biscuits. You just happen to get chicken while you there. Everybody goes for the biscuits. Why you go to Red Lobster? What do people talk about? Nobody mentions the Admiral's Feast or the Ultimate Feast or the popcorn shrimp or the famous Walt's beer battered shrimp. Beer battered shrimp. No, you go for the cheddar, the garlic and cheddar cheese biscuits, and they come in what? A basket. It's not complete until I get, and the biscuits are so important, they give you those first. The biscuits are so important, you get them first. It's the most important part of basketball, and we're going to see this offseason what type of mind frame Ben Simmons has, what type of mold Ben Simmons is cut from. Is he soft? Does this toughen him? Does this get him betterly mentally prepared? Also, too, let's not give Embiid a pass because Embiid has great numbers in a second round semifinal loss in the Eastern Conference in the Game 7 at home. Great numbers all through the series. Let's not give him a pass because why isn't he, if he's their best player, why isn't he been on Ben Simmons' ass to get in the gym and develop a jumper so they could go far in the postseason? Can't get out the second round with all that talent. Seth gave you 28 one game, gave you 30 plus another game. Like last night or 2 nights ago, he only had 17. Last night he only had 17. But it's like, damn, I gave y'all what I had. I gave y'all what, Seth ain't gonna give you 30. He's not Steph. He's Seth. He's got a T missing. He's Steph Curry. Excuse me, Seth. There's a Steph already, but he ain't that. He okay. Denzel wise, he okay. Steph Curry is what you say his name is. Steph Curry, all right. Okay, Steph Curry. Okay, shoot that jump shot, right? Okay, all right. Right? There's a difference. But he gave you what he can give you. Missing Danny Green hurts, but Danny Green is streaky. Why are we holding Embiid more accountable as a leader when we throw all these other terms and words around for all these other players that we want to defend or that we want to crush? Leadership comes up. Why aren't we talking about that for Embiid? If he's playing with Jordan, you think he don't got a jumper by now? If he's playing with Kobe, you think he ain't got a jumper? I could say somebody like Shaq, but Shaq would just say, it don't matter if you got a jumper or not. Be aggressive. Last night, I thought he was going to break out a chair. He said, be aggressive. So I thought he was going to go, be aggressive, be aggressive, B-E-A-G-G-E-R-I-C-E. I think I messed the ending up. Yeah, but y'all know the chair I'm talking about. It don't matter. Just give me the ball. I got a bum on my back. Barbecue chicken. Give me the ball. It don't matter. You shoot the jumper or not. Give me the ball. But, we throw these words around for other players and other guys we like to either crush or defend. That we like or we don't like. Why are we holding Embiid more responsible as a leader? You know he can't shoot. How aren't you on his ass? Embiid shoot better than Ben. Just go shoot with Embiid. Go work out with Embiid. I don't know. I just think we need to stop putting more on players than I think that they even have earned to be put on them. And I think Ben Simmons is one of those guys. So I want to go back to Doc Rivers for a quick second here. And there was a show that I did. Once again, guys, I swear to you, I'm not making this up. If you were watching on Instagram or if you're watching on YouTube, you see I have this pad here. There's another pad. These are notes. I swear to you guys, look, it was Doc Rivers against Denver. That was last year. I wrote this a year ago. Okay, this is for the bubble when they lost Game 7 to Denver as the Clippers coach. And that day, or the next day, I did a show and I started my rant off about nice guys finish last. I started my show talking about, you could be a nice guy in sports, want to hang out with everybody, want to go hang out in the summertime, want to go do banana boat trips together and take pictures and post it on social media. And your wife likes my wife, so we all go out together and we meet up and we went to England and we went to France, or we go down to Cancun and we go hang out and we shake hands and hug and kiss in between before and between games, and we got all these secret daps and handshakes and nobody really dislikes each other. We want to all kind of like each other, and it kind of kills the competition for me. Because I just think even when I played sports, my best games I've ever had were against opponents or players or teams I genuinely had a dislike for, like a life-size dislike for. I did not like them. I did not like the team. I did not like the coaches, the color, fight song they played, the band, whatever. Somebody on that team that I knew, I played better against those teams. Because I want to crush you more, I want to hurt you more. I think the better athletes in the history of sports have been those type of guys. The better coaches in sports that are kind of snide and like to really kind of mess with the media a lot, don't want to give you a lot, don't really like the media, don't really want to even talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some coaches that don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with the media. They don't want to deal with us. They don't want to call in the shows. When last time Bill Belichick called into a show? How many times has he done that in 20 years? How many times has Greg Popovich called into shows or been a guest on sports talk radio shows in the last 20 years? I wish I really had a number on that. Over under 12 times, 15, 20 years though. That's not even once a year. They don't want to deal with the media. And there's some players that are kind of built like that too. And I started the show by talking about how nice guys finish last. I also brought this topic up and had these notes for another show used to call Mike and Donnie on Fox Soul. Mike Hill and Donnie, they had a sports talk show over there, and I used to go in there as a special guest and do sit-ins and talk sports with them. And I took this over there because it was around about the time when they got eliminated. So within about a span of a week, I went on 2 different platforms, 2 different shows, and I spoke about this. And when it happened last night, all I could say to myself is, are we gonna let Doc get unscathed out of all of this? Is it about time that we be real about Doc Rivers? It's time to be real about Doc Rivers. He reminds me a lot of Mike Tomlin. And I'm going to say the same thing about him that I say about Mike Tomlin. I'm pretty sure they are both exceptional human beings. I'm pretty sure they're both really nice guys. I'm pretty sure they really care about your family, the players. Like they really care about your son. They really care about your daughter. They really care how their soccer game went this past weekend. They really care about your wife's baking class that she's taking, because housewives have to do something when their husbands are a football player and making 20 million and 15 and 8 and 9 4. And even if it's 6 million a year, that's a lot of money. You don't have to go to work. I make $6 million a year. My wife can stay at home if she wants to. I mean, at that point, I guess you have to be the guy paying all the bills, right? I mean, there's guys that do it making 40,000 a year. So if I'm making 6 million a year, you kind of got to, right, guys? Right, men? Right, ladies? Ladies will be like, yes, he talking sports, but he's spitting real too. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. But I'm pretty sure he cares about that stuff, and he cares about what's going on in your life, and some social things, and some political things. That's all great. It's all well and dandy. Very nice to the media. Very well spoken. Very beguiling to the media. Very beguiling to, the fan base. And the front office loves them. And all the coaches do like them. And they're liked by their team. And they're a players. Coach is a players guy. But in the fourth quarter, football or basketball, with the chips on the table, for all the bubbles, all the bubbly, all the money, all the girls, all the fame, all the everything that comes with winning in pro sports in the postseason. When that time comes, it doesn't matter if little Timmy won his game on Tuesday. You got to get that dry erase board, or you got to talk to somebody up in the booth, or pull out that big ass card of all these colored and plays. And you got to come up with something to win the game, to put your players in the best position possible to win a professional sports game and move on to the next round or collect the championship. Period. It's as simple as that. And Mike Tomlin and Doc Rivers have shown time and time and time and time and time and time again that without someone else's gift to you or someone else's players you take on, players you coach, players you draft, players you develop. He was the GM and VP of basketball operations, and with the Clippers, he ran it. He ran it before Jerry West stepped over. Like, he was able to make his decisions there. And look what happened. You had Blake. Yeah. Chris Paul, they call him point god. He's the point god, which is dead ass wrong. I could argue Chris Paul is not a top 10 to 15 point guard. I could. I really could. I know most people are like, what? What? Yeah, I could. I mean, if we just go really quick, Magic, Isaiah, Stockton. There's 3 right there. So anybody that's talking top 5, no, it's not better than Steph. So there's 4. I can go Glove. I could go Jerry West. People say a 2 guard. Nah, he was the point. Just like Oscar Robertson, he was the point. There's 5 and 6 right there. I can say Nash, J Kidd. There's 7, 8. He's not better than Nash. He's not better than Jason Kidd. I mean, there's 8 I just gave you right there, and there's a few more. I'm just trying to get in my head. I can't. Pistol Pete, Havlicek, some of those other guys I would look at and go, no, they were better. They're better point guards than I think Kenny Anderson. He may not have had the career I think Kenny Anderson was a better point guard. Allen Iverson played the 2. Allen AI, there's 10 right there. He's out of my top 10, and there's nobody you can say that I'm wrong about. Another topic for another day. But Doc had him. DeAndre. I mean, he had a team. Tobias, he had a team there. Like, he had some players there. Josh Smith, like, they had a squad. And if you remember one year, in the first round, it took a Chris Paul crazy overside head flip shot with like 0.8 seconds left over outstretched Tim Duncan to get out of the first round at home. They almost lost that series at home in the 7th game. If not for Kevin McHale taking care of Danny Ainge and sending him Garnett and coupling that and teaming that up with Ray Allen in the trade too, because he was sick of Milwaukee, he was sick of Seattle, he had done all he could, and they got him out of there and got him to Boston with a young point guard like Rondo. I mean, is he better than Rondo? He's a better shooter than Rondo. Okay, he's a better shooter than Rondo. But you get him there with a young, steady the court Rondo. You get a motivated Kevin Garnett who won Defensive Player of the Year that first year there when they won the championship. And you get a prime Paul Pierce, who was one of the top 3 wing players in the league. He was one of the top 3 wing players in the league. Like, Doc Rivers has been handed some very nice teams to only have 1 championship. What up, man? Everybody jumping in. I love this, man. What up, Ak? Ak, we got a comedy show, bro. Watch how we do this next one right here. And then my man, Cuddy coming through. What up, Cuddy coming through? I appreciate y'all. Tune in for a second, man. I'm talking some good shit right here about Doc Rivers. So when I broke everything down and I looked at, man, he's had some really good teams. He's a really nice guy, and that's why people like him. But then I broke up nice guys and assholes, and more respected by their peers, or that their peers were kind of lukewarm to them, and how many championships that they won. Check this out, guys. Michael Jordan, asshole, 6. Kobe Bryant, asshole, 5. Bill Belichick, asshole, 6. Nick Saban, asshole, 5. Popovich, asshole, 5. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not liked by the media, pressed off by the media, and pretty much blackballed out of a head coaching and coaching jobs in the NBA. 5 championship. Mike Tyson, asshole, world champion at 21 years old. Tom Brady, perceived asshole, 6 championship. Serena Williams, perceived, a little edgy, a little get out of my face, a little 23 Grand Slams. Rafael Nadal, asshole, 19 Grand Slams. Jimmy Johnson, asshole, 2 Super Bowls, and then 2 Super Bowls and 2 in college. Two Super Bowls and 2 national championships. Phil Jackson, kind of aloof, kind of an asshole, kind of a, didn't like the media, wanted to play with the media, employed the media, perceived as a mean guy, 12 championships. Tiger Woods, 15 majors. Guys, I just mentioned 52 championships to you guys. And nobody on that list you would consider being a nice guy. Here's the list of nice guys. Here's my nice guy list. Patrick Ewing, 0 championships. Reggie Miller, 0 championships. John Stockton, 0 championships. Drew Brees, 1 championship. Peyton Manning, 2 championships. One won by his defense. LeBron James, 4 championships, 4-7 in the finals. And Doc Rivers, 1 championship. Phil Mickelson, 5 majors. There's your championships on that side. Now, if there's another nice guy, tell me about him. Who's the nice? Derek Jeter. There's one I missed. Derek Jeter, 5 championship. Perceived nice guy. All the assholes and all the mean people win, guys. They win because they demand from you. They demand everything from you. They demand everything you got. They are leaders. Michael Jordan was a leader, fierce leader. Kobe was a leader. Bill Belichick is a leader. Nick Saban is a leader. Popovich is a leader. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his nickname was Cap as captain. Tom Brady's a leader. Serena Williams, Rafael Nadal, they played in individual sports. So you can't count them as a leader, but they're a leader of their own life, their own career. Phil Jackson, he's a leader. You've never heard Doc Rivers be called a leader. And you have players that come back and take shots at him. Kendrick Perkins, and I don't really agree with anything he says. I'm trying to figure out how the hell he's on TV. Well, his non-talking ass. I'm going to tell all y'all right now, LeBron James is, y'all be hating, man. Y'all better watch some of these games and y'all don't listen to what the people that shut up. That's my Kendrick Perkins. Thank you. Thank you. And then you got Josh Smith, like, take it to his social media, taking shots at, who takes shots at Phil Jackson? Who takes shots at Nick Saban? Who takes shots at Bill Belichick? Who takes shots at Coach K? At Roy Williams, Jim Boeheim, Jim Calhoun, Bill Self? Who takes shots at these guys after they leave playing from them? And Kendrick won a championship with them. Who takes shots at former players, take shots at coaches? He is constantly having someone take shots at him when things like this happen. And Josh Smith jumped on social media about it last night. It's just time to be real about Doc Rivers. It's sooner or later, it's going to be time to be real, even though it's past the time. But fans are normally late. A lot of TV is normally late. Sports talk has become reactive instead of proactive because we have to be right instead of just missing some from time to time. Hang your hat on. Hey, man, at least that's what I call. Hey, I'm the Big Vanilla 8515. If you follow me, listen, or watch me, y'all know I cash in 85% of the predictions and the things I put out and say that's going to happen, or say keep your eye on and watch, because I pay attention. I still love the sport, first teams, then players. Once you start to put players above the sport and above the team, your view of sports is skewed forever, in my opinion. You'll never get it back to a respectability level. It'll never get back to a respectability level. You'll be the same guy still saying, oh, I don't have teams. I'm a fan of such and such. I ain't got teams. I'm a fan of such and such. I respect the fan that's a fan of the team and the game through thick and thin, through anything that happens. You know what I'm saying? Whether your team goes 0 and whatever. Of that. Not the guy that's, I'm a fan of such and such. I'm a fan of such and such as a coach. Do you ever hear that about Doc Rivers? Oh, man, I'm pulling for the Clippers because I'm a Doc Rivers fan. Doc Rivers has had Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, and Joel Embiid. And he has been to one conference. Excuse me. One. No, two. It's been to two conference finals. Because he won a championship and then they went back to another championship. So two conference finals. Or is it 3? Did he go to one with the Celtics and the Heat? And the Heat beat them and went to the finals? That might have been it. So 3. So even if he was going to 3, all those players I just named, he's been to 3 conference finals. He's blown 3 3-1 leads. He's lost 2 Game 7s at home. I mean, it's just time to be real about Doc. And it leads back to my initial point, how it started the show. We have to just let people be who they are. Stop trying to make coaches and players into we want them to be. Maybe Doc Rivers is just a guy who cares a lot. He's really nice. He's a great human. He's a great person. And he's just not a championship coach. He's just not a championship coach. There are a lot of really good coaches that aren't championship coaches. There are 7, I believe it is, 7 NBA open jobs right now. And you people want to try to tell me that the league is better? The league is doing fine. There are 7 teams that fired their coach. And 1 team were in the playoffs and fired their coach. Excuse me, 2 teams were in the playoffs. 1 coach walked away. They couldn't come to terms. Rick Carlisle. And Dallas. Dallas needs a coach. Now, think about it. Luka doesn't have a coach. Dame Lillard doesn't have a coach. Zion Williamson and Lonzo Ball do not have a coach. I just named you 4 marquee NBA young guns coming. Well, Dame's a vet now. Yeah, Dame's a vet. But Luka, Zion, Lonzo, young guns coming. Zion and Lonzo trying to get to New York so damn fast, it's not even funny. They're trying to get to New York. Kemba trying to get to New York. There are a lot of people, and it's interesting. There are a lot of people that really want to go try to save the Knicks. That lets you know the Knicks still have firepower as far as how they're viewed. How they're viewed. The Knicks still have firepower. There are players like trying to get to the Knicks. And they just lost in 5 to Trae Young and the Hawks. And we'll talk about that in a second too, because Trae Young, I was always not I don't mess with him. I was on let me pump the brakes on him because he is small in stature. And I know that could be overcome, but I have to see that. But I do know he led the nation in scoring as a freshman in college in scoring and assists. He let him in both. So the kid could play. You don't get that far if you can't play. The kid can flat out play ball. So that's impressive. The way he's played has impressed me, and I'm almost a fan. I'm trying to hold off though. I got to see what he does in this next series. If he goes out and he cooks Holiday, if he goes out and cooks Holiday, then I'm gonna be like, all right, vanilla brother. You know what I'm saying? I gotta, it's him, Steph, Booker, Clay, the vanilla brothers. I think that's why I'm okay with Ben Simmons being who he is. He'll just be a tremendous defensive point guard. If you need another score, and just to jump back to that for a minute, here's an idea, Philly. Go find you another scorer. That means you got to get rid of Ben Simmons, but you still do owe him like $146 million. I don't know anybody that's going to take that when he can't score. Every team needs a third scorer. I saw a Laker meme today. Come on, guys, stop. Why would you? Come on. Are you serious? LeBron wants the ball in his hand. He can't play with no true point guard. Every true point guard he plays with ends up not even being a point guard no more. They're an afterthought. Including Kyrie. They wanted Kyrie out of there, man. Kyrie had the ball too much for his liking. Y'all know it's true. You know it. I know it. He knows it. She knows it. We all know it. It's not a big secret. That's like being shocked that people have sex at All-Star Weekend in the NBA All-Star Weekend. Okay, you're shocked? Are you kidding me? Do you know what this is? Do you know who you are? That's the reaction that gets. Get another score. But if you're gonna try to add him out here to LA, like stop it. He can't shoot. He's not gonna score for you. So you'll just be blaming. Why? Come out here to be the blame game. You'll be the new blame game. They blaming Kuzma. Like, think about that. Like Kuzma. And Kuzma's like their 5th best player according to everybody else, right? You guys love LeBron and AD, so they're 1, 2. And then 3, y'all, it's not Kuzma. Oh, Dennis Schroeder. Look at Dennis Schroeder. Oh, Caldwell Pope, man. Come on. Their shots went up before Kuzma's shots went up. Especially when AD and LeBron got hurt, Dennis Schroeder was taking almost 20 jacks a game. But you want Kuzma to come in and save you towards the end. Like you wanted Ben Simmons to come save you towards the end of the game. Another thing people have to remember too, Ben Simmons is Aussie. He's not American, so he may not be mentally strong, and it isn't mental to him. It's in his head. He has not taken a shot in the last 3/4 quarters, and then he took 2 shots in game 3, and then he took no shots in the 4th quarter in games 1 and 2. So games 1 and 2, 0 shots. Game 3, 3 shots. 4, 5, 6, 7, no shots. 3 straight games, he didn't take any shots. It's in his head because he's hearing it. And these young kids stay on social media, so he's seeing it. It's no secret. Everybody's putting it out there that Ben Simmons can't shoot. There's a meme going right now. 1 free throw to make, or you get shot in the head and get killed. And there's a picture of him and Giannis. Who wants that? Like who wants to deal with that? I don't. But he's almost being forced to. And that's it's not sad, but it just kind of is what it is. But back to Doc, it's just nice guys finish last, guys. And Doc's a nice guy, and he's always just come finish last and finish where he is. If he's not blessed the way he was, and let's go even deeper with the Celtics championship. He does beat Kobe and the Lakers in 6. But the Lakers and Kobe also blow a 26-point lead in game 4. They lost games 1 and 2. They come back and get game 3 in LA. They're up 26 points in game 4, 24, 46 points. In game 4, you're thinking, okay, they're about to tie this Bama up. And they still got game 5 at home because back then it was the 2-3-2 format instead of 2-2-1-1-1. That they went back to it like all the other rounds. The finals was 2-3-2, which I think they should go back to. I like that. I like 2-3-2. Give the home, if you already don't have home court advantage, so we'll give you 3 games at home in a row. I love that. But if the number 1 seed comes in and they steal one of those games, if they come in and they happen to steal one of those games, man, that's always been the way I like to see the finals play. But in that finals, they win game 1, win game 2. Lakers handle them game 3, and they're up 24 points in game 4. So they blow that lead. Also, too, with the Laker team that Doc Rivers and those Celtics beat. That trade was made before the trade deadline, like after the new year. That trade was made after the new year. If you put that really and if you set that aside, just look at that. So Kobe took Powell, Lamar, Bynum, Sasha Vujacic, Trevor Ariza, like he's Shannon Brown. Like he took those guys to the finals when they changed that team up in the middle of the season. They changed that team up and carried them to the finals. As to where that trade was made on draft day for Garnett and for Ray Allen. So they had all season of work, went in the training camp, preseason, the whole 9. Even when you think about when the Heatles got put together with LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, they talked about it the year before. They admitted it. They talked about it that prior year at the Olympics of possibly joining up together. We're starting to work out together, play pickup together. Like they were training already. They had a year and a half of head start on everybody before he really made the decision. But that's the team he beat. He beat Kobe and the Lakers, but he also beat Kobe and the Lakers that switched their team up in the middle of the year and had to kind of get to learn each other and go through the peaks and valleys and the up and downs and still won that series in 6, and it should have went to a 7th game. Lakers should have never blew the lead in game 4. But, I mean, that's his championship. When he came back and played that same Laker team 2 years later that had been together, been through the wars, won a championship, they lost the game 7 on the road. Another game 7 loss for Doc Rivers. In a game where Kobe shoots 5 of 22, I believe, 5 of 23. Got 15 rebounds that night, though. When you're not scoring, got to find other ways to help your team win. Who gets the final rebound of the game? Actually, no, Powell did. He throws it, and Kobe runs and chases the ball down. So it wasn't a rebound. Did have an assist his last play in the NBA for a guy who never passed the ball.
That's poetic justice. Poetic justice for a guy who never passed the ball. His last play of his NBA career was an assist. 25, 5, and 5. No shooting guard has more assists in their career than Kobe Bryant. Look it up. Look it up. And your boy LeBron is about to pass him in shots taken. I'm just saying, for all the ball hog and jacket shot, I mean, LeBron's about to pass him in shots taken in about the same amount of time. And you got to remember too, Kobe missed the season with the Achilles. He missed the whole next season with the Achilles. Lakers were horrible too, man. God, they were horrible without Kobe Bryant. But hey, Doc's had some guys. Doc's had some teams, and he just hasn't delivered and come through, man. Moving on. Western Conference Finals. Great stuff. That game was tremendous yesterday. That was a great basketball game. I think we should pump the brakes. Stephen A. Smith said Booker's the next Kobe Bryant. I get sick of that, and I hate that because there's never going to be another Kobe. Like, there's never going to be another Jordan. There's never going to be another LeBron. There's never going to be another Garnett. We might get another LeBron, though. Maybe without all the side melodrama. But we might get another player. People think Zion. I don't. I don't think Zion's LeBron, and I don't think he can be or is going to be LeBron. So I'll put it into that real. His jump shot's way too flat. Even though I know he likes to step out and hit a few threes, his jump shot's way too flat. Over time, when you don't have your legs and you keep getting hurt on your lower extremities, a flat jump shot is nothing good to have in the NBA. You got to have a shot with a backspin and some arc on it. You definitely can't have a flat jump shot. He's got a flat jump shot. So I don't think he's LeBron James. I may not be a LeBron James guy, LeBron James fan, but I don't say silly shit like that. But Western Conference Finals, Booker's balling out. PG's balling out. Like, PG is showing people, and he is. Whether it's just one series, it doesn't matter. You've been asking for it, so here it is. And then when we give it to him, see, that's what's wrong with sports and with sports talk. When they give it to us, now we want it every time, or you're no good. It's like, no, he got, like, Chauncey Billups is a great NBA point guard. Probably should be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he should get in, but probably might end up getting in as a Hall of Famer. But he will always be known as an NBA champion and a Finals MVP. He won Finals MVP. Like, that's, Paul Pierce has that one Finals MVP. That holds weight. You ain't got, it's cool when you can say, oh, Jordan's got 6. But he played in 6 finals. So, of course, and he won all 6 finals. So, of course, he was the Finals MVP. The best player won all 6 finals is probably the Finals MVP. Could you pick any of those finals where Scottie should have got it? Or where the opposing player should have got it? Maybe Barkley is the only one of the Jordan finals that you would look at and say, okay, Barkley could have won it, even though they lost. Barkley's the only one. In the Seattle series, it wasn't going to be Payton, it wasn't going to be Sean Kemp. And the Jazz series, he wasn't outplayed by Karl Malone or by John Stockton. And back-to-back years. Back-to-back years, they went and took both of them. They went and took them out. Jordan made it be known. And it wasn't Clyde Drexler for Portland. And it damn sure wasn't Magic. Magic was at the end when he lost to the Bulls in 90. So, 91. Yeah, because they won in 91, 92, and 93. My Pistons won in 89 in the turn of the century and 90. 88, 89, and 90, and 89, 90 is when the Pistons won their championships. But you look at sports in a totality, people, and I try to look at it across the board. And I try to just look at players for like who they are. Booker's a great player. PG, this is what we want out of him, right? He's a great player. He really is a great player. But you do, if you can get that one, if you get it with the Clippers, you win that one championship and get it with the Clippers. I like Devin Booker, but I just don't like the Kobe comment. I just don't he's the next Kobe Bryant. His game's like Kobe. I know Kobe was his mentor, but that's heavy to put on somebody. How about we just watch Booker play and just enjoy him? And not worry about who he's the best or the next. Let's just enjoy the fact that he's balling right now. And notice to the NBA, the league just does fine in the postseason. The games are still great without Steph Curry and LeBron. The league's doing just fine. The games are going on just fine. There's nothing wrong with the games. So the Suns take game 1 last night. Like I said, that game was tremendous. That game was outstanding, man. Both teams played hard. Both teams shot well. Was it 92-92 at the end of 3? So you knew they were heading well into the hundreds, the low hundreds in that game. So game 2 is tomorrow night, which I'm excited about. It's only one game. Eastern Conference Finals starts on Wednesday. You got the Milwaukee Bucks and you have the Atlanta Hawks. When I look at the entire postseason, aren't the Hawks the only team that can really pat themselves on the back? They didn't come against any injuries. They beat every team straight up. There was no finicky calls. There was no controversy refereeing. Like, the Hawks are really the only team that's left in the conference finals, Eastern or Western, that can really pat themselves on the back. I really do hope they beat the Bucks, because the Bucks, you didn't know, you got blown out of games 1 and 2, and then Kyrie goes down with the ankle injury, and let's just call it what it is. Series over. That's what it ended up being. Series over. Harden gutted it out, but he said, I didn't do any basketball. From the time I heard it to game 5, I didn't do any basketball. So going out that night was just like, let me just see what I can and what I can't do. And I had nothing, but I had to play. You got to be out. You got to love it, man. You got to love it. But you have those two things happen, and hey, they won. If Durant's feet aren't so big, they lose. Let's just be real. If Durant's feet aren't so long, they lose that series. And then we're looking at Giannis, and we're looking at Middleton, and we're looking at Budozer. We're looking at them in all a different light. You couldn't beat Durant. You couldn't beat the Nets without Kyrie and without James Harden. You couldn't beat Durant. Like, I don't know. Seriously, I don't know if I can look at them as a legitimate Eastern Conference Finals team, because I had Nets in 6. If everybody's healthy, they don't beat that team. If you look over at Phoenix, AD goes down. You don't have to play AD. Just playing LeBron, and LeBron's over the hill. LeBron's done. Nobody just wants to say and admit it, because we're so afraid to move on. He has such a hold on sports media and fan bases like that. We're just so afraid to move on. We saw this with Jordan. Kobe fans have moved on. Look at Laker fans, right? Kobe fans, we move on. We know who we have to look up to. We know who it is, so we don't have to worry about the next guy coming through. I feel like that with the quarterback position. I have Dan Marino. Dan Marino's my quarterback forever. He's my favorite quarterback forever, and for me, he will be the greatest quarterback forever. I'm trying to figure out why this is covering up my why this is covering up my face on my show here, but I don't know how to fix it. I'm not about to mess with it on my IG. Sorry that I'm bumping the table and bumping the camera on IG. But Dan Marino's my quarterback. I don't care who comes through the league. You can't tell me Pat Mahomes is better. Pat Mahomes is nice. He dumb nice. But is he better than Dan Marino? No. He's not better than Dan Marino. Not to me. He's never going to be better than Dan Marino to me. I don't care how many Super Bowls that he wins. He ain't going to be better than Dan to me. I feel like that with Kobe. I don't have to really, argue with the fan bases of sports about the guys that ain't no more Tigers coming through. I'm good. Ain't no more Mike Tysons and Muhammad Ali's coming through. I'm good. Y'all can love all these new dudes coming through all y'all want to. I'm all right. And I think that's what we're seeing with the playoffs and these injuries. None of these guys, I think, are the legendary type players anyway. So when I look at Chris Paul and I look at Booker and I see AD go down and you get past them, LeBron's over the hill going down. And then you get to the next round in the Western Conference. Nobody helps Luka. So, the Clippers get past Luka. Luka's got no help, so you beat Luka. Denver gets the MVP on their team, but they don't have Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's hurt. He's out. He didn't get a chance to play the whole playoffs. So you get back. So you get if you're Phoenix, you get by them. So no AD, no Jamal Murray. You probably should be in the Western Conference Finals. If you look at the Clippers had to take out Utah, and they did, but Donovan Mitchell was on a bum ankle. It just is what it is. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but the fact is he was on a bum ankle. Now, they beat him in 6, so they probably would have beat him in 7. But the Hawks are the only team that can really pat themselves on the back, and it would not surprise me if they won this Eastern Conference Finals. Now, The reason why I don't want it to happen, because it gives all of the zombies and minions and half-ass sports media and sports fans and fan bases and Twitter, it gives them all the avenue to say, oh, the injuries, they should, because of the short off season, nobody got the train. Listen, Terrell Owens, who I do not agree with on a lot of things, came out yesterday and said these injuries that these NBA players are having are soft tissue injuries. They're because these guys aren't taking care of their body year around, all the time, being in shape. All around, year round, being in shape. There was no rest for Jerry Rice. Now, it wasn't football, but Jerry Rice ran hills. Jerry Rice did things all the time, year around, to stay in shape, to make sure he didn't have a pulled hamstring and a groin and a calf. And guess what, guys? For like 15 straight years, he never did. He tore his ACL on a freak pull down collar tackle from Warren Sapp on kickoff Sunday, the first game of the year. And he was back. And what made Jerry Rice so sick, he was back at the end of the year. He tore it early September and was back late December. Who with a torn ACL playing for the Niners again? Who does that? He said, I'm going to get back before the end of this season. I'll be back. And he was. That's the guy that takes care of his body. Kyrie Irving twisted his ankle. Is that because of a short off season? James Harden, hey, we've seen James flutter with his weight up and down, not taking care of his body, not taking care of himself, to put the strain on his body to go through a professional NBA season. Same with the NFL, a professional NFL season. That's why I don't want to see the Hawks go to the finals or win it all, because everybody's going to blame it on the injuries and they'll say, well, this wasn't a fair season. And if we want to rewind to over a year ago, I told you all when the NBA stopped. I said it on this show. I said it on any other show that I was on. When the NBA stopped their season, I said they need to just cut ties with this year, rest up, everybody come back next year so we can have a full-on blown, great, healthy season. I said it plenty of times. But nope, want to get to this bubble, especially LeBron fans and Laker fans. They knew it. 4 months off, no excuses. Now I could go balls to the wall, go all out, go hard just for these little 2.5 months, because I just have 4 months off. That's almost like playing really hard from the beginning of the season until like right after Christmas Day, right after New Year's. That was the length of the bubble. They got there in late July, towards the end of July. Lakers didn't play their first game until August. So August, September, and the finals were like in the first week of October, or like the last week of September, first week of October. A little over 2 months they were there. Oh, it's hard. It's the bubble. It's this, it's that. Come on, man. Like, stop. There are plenty of guys and plenty of people there that made enough money or big enough star power to get whatever they wanted there, however they wanted it to be there, and when they wanted it there. Whether they're running people through testing or not running people through testing, don't try to fool me, NBA. All that food coming in and coming out, all those Disney workers coming and going to and fro every day, and zero tests. Okay, fine. Because if it's one test, you got to shut the bubble down. So of course it's going to be zero tests. Even one test, you have to shut the bubble down. Oh, but it was these hardcore, situations, extenuating circumstances. And then you have the AAU Mickey Mouse Bubblegum Championship Club. And I'm the president. I don't make no bones about it. I'm the president of that club. Right here, me. But that's how I felt about it. You guys are just trying to cram this in for what? What are y'all doing? And look now. Look now. I said this a year ago. It's over. The season's lost. This season's done. It's canceled. But if you take this year off, you take the rest of it, imagine the product you could put on the court later this year. They would have been off. They stopped in March. They would have been off April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Could have started the season in November. 8 months of rest, 8 months of training, relaxing, or fucking around, eating how you want to eat, drink how you want to drink, not training correctly, not training full time, whatever the case is. But an 8-month window. And this might have been a much better and a much different season. a much better and a much different season. You wouldn't even have to ease the fans by that time if you didn't have the bubble where you had to kind of had to test it out on all these screens and people on the screen. You might have had fans by October, by November. They had fans in some of these arenas by December and by January. They had some fans in here. In some of these arenas, some of these states, same with football. Football has some fans in some. Football had fans at their games in September. Opening kickoff game with the Chiefs had fans. That was in September. So the NBA could have had fans in November. And you would have been better off if he'd have just took last year off. And for the guy that really pushed for last year, that pushed to come back and was the loudest voice to come back, to tweet, I tried to tell y'all that oh my God, you got to be kidding me, dude. You? So what did you think? You knew when the season was going to end. And then the NBA couldn't have waited to start it in like, what, February? January, February, and then have a 50-game season. So now it's an easier track for us to stay healthy and try to get another championship? Come on, man. Y'all can fall for it. I'm not. But I do believe that the Hawks are the only team that can pat themselves on the back. But back to the Western Conference Finals. I still have the Clippers in 7. I believe this is a 7-game series. I do think Chris Paul gets back, and I'm hoping Kawhi gets back so we can get 2 full teams and we can really get a resolution, at least 3 games. I only need 3 games between these 2 teams of fully healthy guys because you see what the teams are without each one. Book can give you 40 triple-double. Excuse me, Paul George. PG can give you 30 plus and 12 rebounds. You know, man can score. Reggie Jackson can give you 25, 27. Like, you have some players that can still fill in and provide great basketball and great TV sports drama. You still have all of that. But it would be so much better if we could get Kawhi and get Chris Paul at least for 3 of these games. If those 2 guys miss the first 4 and it's a 2-2 series, we're blessed as basketball fans. If Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard both miss the first 4 and we're 2-2, we are blessed. And then they say, oh, well, they're going to play now. Like, Chris Paul's back and Kawhi's healthy enough to go, and they play the last 3 and it goes to 7, we're blessed. We can do with that. I mean, we got enough of PG, right? We got 4 games of PG versus Booker. That's a great matchup. We're watching that, right? Aton being the B player, being the 2 guy, being the second option. You got Cameron Payne. You got Cam Johnson. And then you look over to the Clippers. You got more senior guy. Why didn't his brother hit the Lakers what he's giving the Clippers? Goodness gracious. And I made a comment on Twitter. So these Morris brothers, they don't never get their team shit when their teams really need it. These guys talk more and do more dirty stuff and do more type bully ball tactics instead of just out ball. But Morris Sr., man, has been balling for the Clippers. Man out of Florida State, balling for the Clippers. They haven't even been able to get Rondo going. Rondo's been dinged up. Age catching up, man. Father time for some guys. It's catching Rondo too. Rondo's in that class. 15, 16, 17-year range. Rondo's getting up there. But we get enough without Paul and without Leonard to where, like I said, we can just get through the first 3 or 4 games and they play the rest of the series, then we're blessed. I still like the Clippers in 7. I think the Clippers have the best team from top to bottom. I am still out on Tyronn Lue because people are going to say, well, he's a good coach, yeah, but you also got a chance to get gifted a job in Cleveland, basically because LeBron wanted you to be the coach. And you won that championship and was able to kind of use that as this title of, oh, he's such a great coach. He's such a good coach. And then you get the Cleveland job, you get the Clippers job, and, you know, you got Kawhi and PG. So, but you have to win in this league. Mark Jackson says it best. You win in this league with talent, period. You can tell me about all the X's and O's and the Jimmys. And sometimes, like they say, it ain't the X's and O's, it's the Jimmy and the Joes that win championships. It ain't the front office, it's the guys on the field, on the court, on the ice. Speaking of ice, great hockey playoff so far. It's in the conference finals now. Tampa Bay just laid it on the Islanders today. I think at one point it was 5 or 6 to nothing or 5 or 6 to 1 in like the second period. I was like, okay, I'm not watching this. I'm done with this game. But playoff hockey's been great too. But I think that they have the better team. I think it does help Ty Lue's coaching conversation of where he ranks as a coach. And I believe that if you put both these teams together, top to bottom, 7-game series, I'll still go with the Clippers. So moving over to the Eastern Conference Finals before I wrap up, because I don't want to go too long tonight. It is 2:00 in the morning out here on the West Coast. So y'all know I works hard, man. I just had to, and this is a very impromptu episode of VJs and Sports Icon. Like I had no idea I was doing the show tonight, but the Ben Simmons and the Doc Rivers thing was on my mind. Eastern Conference Finals, like I said, I think the Hawks are the only team that can really pat themselves on the back of making it this far because there's been no injuries for them. And to go through, as far as the other team's excuses, they lost Solomon. Solomon's out for the rest of the playoffs. They lost one of their key guys. But Collins has stepped up. Herter stepped up. Capella had some lob dunks and some great defensive plays on Embiid last night. And I just hate to keep bouncing back, but Embiid, listen, we're all over Ben Simmons, but we jump on LeBron when he scored a lot and they don't win, and we doing it to Kevin Durant. He scored a lot and they didn't win. Why aren't we doing it to Embiid? Why is Embiid getting the pass? Oh, I know, because his coach is Doc Rivers, and he's a nice guy, and nice guys finish last. And maybe Ben Simmons just is who he is, and we need to stop trying to make him out to be something that he's not. He's a great wing defender, run the offense, big time in assists, and that's just who he is. Maybe he's not a scorer and is never going to be a scorer. Maybe that's just it. Top scoring of his career, I think it's 15 a night. Might be just who he is. But Eastern Conference Finals, you get the Bucks once again. I'm not sure who the Bucks are or if I even respect them getting this far because you do beat the Nets. No Afro Re. I call him Afro Re now. No Afro Re. No Harden. It's just Durant. And I mean, all Durant does is does a 49-point triple-double game and then scores another 47 and 49 points are the most in a game 7 in NBA history. And they dropped that one. So, I mean, even Michael Jordan once had 63 points, guys, and lost a playoff game. So it happens. Trust me, it happens. It's happening. It's happened in this league before. It is going to happen in this league in the future. He won't be the last. He wasn't the first, and he won't be the last. So I'm actually picking Atlanta just to go against the Bucks because I know this is going to get the Giannis is the next great start player conversation started again because he's got to the Eastern Conference Finals. But it's like your roadblock was kind of knocked down when you stepped under Kyrie and the ankle goes and you get past the Nets that way. I think this is a great matchup. I would love to, I'm very anxious to see him and Capella play each other. If Trae Young can go off on Holiday, I think this is where the series is won and lost is the Trae and Holiday matchup. And of course, the others are always going to be pivotal, but superstars are the ones that win series over time. Role players jump in and out from game to game, preferably and most times when they are at home. I think coaching is also even here. I like Nate McMillan. I think they need to go ahead. How's the interim tag not been removed from his name? Getting this far, you need to go ahead and make him the head coach, give him a nice, juicy multi-year deal, and let him take over this franchise. He's got him playing better on defense. He's got him playing smart. You got a former NBA point guard who's played against Michael Jordan and played with Gary Payton and all the greats of that era. John Stockton, night in and night out. All the guys of that era he played with and played against. And now you get to coach Trae Young. If you're Trae Young, if you ever hear this, which you probably never will, but if you do, son, just listen and go do you. He will make you a better basketball player. And I'm becoming a fan. I'm not quite there yet, but this series is going to tell me a lot of how I feel and what I think about Trae Young. I will take the Hawks in 6. I'm going to take the Hawks in 6 in this one. I think they have just a better team up and down. One thing I'm really worried about, though, is how they defend Lopez, the Hawks, that is. Lopez can hit the 3, but Lopez also has some timely rebounds and has some timely block shots and has some timely putbacks on the offensive end in that series against the Nets. And I'm really concerned about how the Hawks will counter Lopez. He's a key for the Bucks. The key for the Hawks is Trae. And I know people go, oh, that's obvious. Okay, but it's still the key. The key is not Giannis for the Bucks. I honestly, it's Middleton and it's Lopez. But Trae gets everything going. Giannis don't get everything going for the Bucks. Trae gets everything going for the Hawks. He is the key there. And I just think that he's built for this, man. And he's ready for this. I really do. Trae Young's ready for this. And that's why he's making me a fan. He's got an old school feel to him. He really does. He's got an old school, okay, you want to talk shit? Fine, let's go. Or if you don't, we just want to play quiet and just smile and wink at each other and, little looks and shit. I could do that too. Fans yelling F Trey Young. I'm looking back over my shoulder at the fan. All right, I got y'all. Word, F me, I bet. Like Bradley Beal when he's going in the locker room and that one clip is somebody's like, you suck. He's like, goes, I suck. And Cal's like, nah, yo, so he's like, oh, all right. Like, dog, I don't suck. People, grown people, you suck. No, he doesn't. He just dropped 40 on your team. He doesn't suck. You suck. You can't score 40 in your son's middle school league. I guarantee you couldn't get your old ass out there on your son's team and score 40. He's doing it in the league. It's not easy to do, man. These guys, he's some athletic gentlemen in the NBA. That's why I kind of lay off how I talk about guys' skill set. You just kind of are what you are in the league. But I think Lopez and Chris Middleton is the key. Trae Young gets everything going. They're gonna need big contributions from Herter, from Bogdanovic. They're gonna need big. Need big contributions from those guys. He's gonna need big contributions from Collins. Collins is gonna have to play well about 3 or 4 games. So there's some things I'm looking for in this series. It's not till Wednesday. I might come on Wednesday and get a little more in depth to it. But I'm telling y'all right now, I'll go Hawks, and I don't have a problem saying that. I'll go Hawks on I'll go Hawks in 6. I will go Hawks in 6. I don't the Bucks shouldn't be there. So I don't think they should advance. I think poetic justice will have Nate McMillan, who gets that job in the middle of the season and then takes that job, turns them around, and takes the Hawks to the NBA Finals, man. I would love to see it. A-Town Stomp. Do the A-Town Stomp. Do the shuffle. Do the shuffle. Do the shuffle. I'm telling y'all, man, let's go. Yo, game 3, and I'm about to die on my battery over here on Instagram, so I got to say bye to you guys and cut it off. If it cuts off, then I don't get a chance to save and post it. But game 3 is going to be Atlanta star-studded. And it's going to show the world Giannis, and it's going to show the world Trae Young. Like, the world is going to get a chance. You know who these guys are because they're all-stars, they're superstars, right? But now you're going to get to sit and watch them play a playoff series. I really do hope that people do tune in. And I really do hope that people do tune in and do really watch this series like it should and like it's deserved. It's deserved to be a series that's watched and really paid attention to. Just like the Western Conference Finals. Look, let's get real. You're getting Phoenix, you're getting the Suns, you're getting star power there with Chris Paul, you're getting star power there with Devin Booker, PG, the Lakers, not the Lakers, the Clippers. You're getting the LA team, so you're getting a huge market. And trust me on this. There are a lot of LA Laker fans that are watching that series. They're watching very closely because they don't want the Clippers winning. They don't want the Clippers going to the postseason. I mean, going to the finals. Laker fans can say they don't care all they want to, but they're watching closely. They do not want to see. They do not want to see the Clippers go to the finals and win their first championship. Shout out to Clipper Darrell, too, man. I got to holler at you, Clipper Darrell. We met at a Clipper game a while ago. I've been to a few. I've been to a handful of Laker games, and I've been to a handful of Clipper games. I've been to both. So I've seen the atmosphere. Clipper game I went to was sold out. It was a sold out game. It was a packed escalator. It was a packed pavilion where LA Live is. It was a packed game. The lines to the rest. I was like, damn, it's like being at a Laker game. This shit's packed. Celebrities were there. Honey dips all dressed up fresh. Dudes all dressed up fresh. Like, and it was a Saturday game too. So everybody was super. It was Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? Saturday night downtown LA, man. It's LA Live is pretty have a lot of fun. Got the Conga Room down there. Got a Lucky Strike Bowling, ESPN. Got Wolfgang Puck. Got the Char House. Got the seafood restaurant. It's a lot popping down there. So anyway, that's a great series too. Everybody should be looking forward to. I know the NBA ratings are down. I know I bang on the NBA a lot, and rightfully so. But I will say this. There is a sense that the NBA, we could get past being on certain players' jocks every day, every show. Every minute, every topic, the same guy and the same teams and the same players and situation. we could get past that, man. I think we can really help bring the NBA back up because people just aren't watching because they're overloaded with the crap. And they're just not falling for it. They're not going for it anymore. That's why I love the NFL. It's different every year. It's different every year. We literally watched the Cavs and the Warriors, and we literally watched the Cavs and the Warriors like 4 straight years. We literally watched that 4 straight years. The Warriors took 3 or 4. Should have took 4 or 4, but they took 3 or 4. Like we knew who was going to the finals. The NFL, you don't know. Nobody thought the Bucks. People that the Bucks won't even make the playoffs. The Bucks won't even this. They went when the Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. He got Rob Parker calling him the what do you call him? The Robert Horry of the NFL. What? No, he's not. Robert Horry, what? He was never the leader or star of any team. He's one of the great clutch role player shooters in NBA history. I don't think that makes you a Hall of Famer, Shaq. I'll say he's a Hall of Famer. No, he's not. Stop, man. God. Role player. I'm sorry. Role players. Julian Edelman going to the Hall of Fame. He's never made a Pro Bowl. You never made a Pro Bowl. You were never considered one of the best at your position in the league in any year in your career, but you get a gold jacket? What do you think this is? The NBA? Get out of here. Baseball's tough. You got to get a percentage of the votes. And after a certain amount of years, you can't never like get in. In baseball, after a certain amount of years, there's a certain amount of years, you can't even get in. That's tough. Baseball is raw with it. But these playoff series, I think, are great, man. I think when certain players leave and when certain guys, take their head out of their ass and we can get back to just real sports talk radio and television, real debating, talking about the games, sports overall, and it not just be this gush fest for players or this hate fest or dislike fest for players. I think we're being a better place with sports talk TV and sports talk radio, man. It's just, my 2 cents on that. So I'll wrap up tonight's show, man. Good stuff. Just to recap, Ben Simmons, who is he? I just think he is who he is. And I think we need to stop trying to make him somebody that he's not. Joel Embiid, be more of a leader, demand more out of him. If you're the leader, be the vocal guy. Stop being so emotional and flopping and showing off. Like, stop being such a drama king, dog. Stop being such a drama king, B. Settle down. I was watching the game the other night. I told my wife, I said, yo, I don't know if you can win when Embiid is your star player because he's so damn emotional. You have to learn how to harness that in critical moments in games and situations on your way to win a championship. You can't let Embiid just lets that shit out all the time. Like he doesn't have a turnoff button. And that bothers me and concerns me about Embiid. That's part about Embiid that I don't like. Doc Rivers, he is who he like. Let's be real about. It's time to be real about Doc Rivers. It's not just players. We need to just realize who they are and let it be. Coaches too. Let's just realize who they are and let it be. Let's stop trying to make excuses for Bill Belichick. He's a great coach. Nick Saban, great coach. Phil Jackson, great coach. Oh, well, Phil had Kobe and Shaq, and Phil had Mike and Scotty, great coach. Ever see Shaq throw him under the bus? Ever see Kobe throw him under the bus? Ever see any role player throw him under the bus? Ever see any player from Alabama throw Nick Saban under the bus? Ever see any Patriot player come back and throw Bill Belichick under the bus? You ever see a Spur come back and throw Popovich under the bus? Or talk shit about those guys in any shape, fashion, or form? Have you ever? No. Not even close. Doc Rivers does. Players he's won championships with. Come back and talk shit about them. Come on. There it is right there. The proof is in the pudding. And I ain't Bill Cosby. So I don't put no drink, none of the girls' drinks, and I don't need no damn pudding. I'm so sorry. That was such a distasteful joke because I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But it didn't say you put the spoon in the pudding. No. That's when the girl, when the girl take the drink, he be looking at him like, no. Take the drink, my dear. But listen, let's get over this thing with Ben Simmons and Doc Rivers. They are who they are. Congrats to the Hawks for winning that game 7. Trae Young's that guy. Also, Ben Simmons did hold Trae Young 5 of 23 shooting. Just saying, he literally shut him down. He literally took him out of the game. He took him out of the game. I mean, he kind of did his part. He is an all defensive first team player twice. Led the league in steals. And then maybe he's just a defensive guy, people. Maybe that's just who he is. And then over to the Western Conference. Great game one. Hopefully we can get Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard back for at least 3 of these games. If we can somehow, please, sports gods, please, sports gods, get this to game 5, 2-2, and it comes out that day that Chris Paul's been cleared and is going to play, and Kawhi Leonard's been cleared, and he's released to play both of them the remainder of the series. By then, I'm sure we've had great performances from Booker. We've had great performances from PG and Reggie Jackson and Moore Sr. and Aiton and Cameron Payne and Cam Johnson. And I'm pretty sure we've had great play, Bridges, from all the role players, and we've seen enough of that. But now let's get Booker and Paul, and let's get PG and Leonard on the court together for these last 3 7-game series. Game 7 in Phoenix, on the road, in the Valley. I will take the Clippers, and I'm taking the Bucks to go down in 6 to the Hawks. Give me the Hawks in 6. I'll stay with it right now. I just think they're a better team. I think Trae Young, I'm pulling for them. I think Trae Young got this. I think Trae Young got this thing. And A-Town going to be lit. If they steal one of these games in Milwaukee, watch out in game 3 in Atlanta. And that Philly team was able to go down there and get a dub, but I don't know if that Bucks team could do the same because the Bucks, I just don't know if they're even a team qualified to be there, being at the injuries that the Nets had to go through. And the Suns, I would say that about, but the Suns have Booker, and I would say Booker's better than Trae Young right now. So I think they could have more of a kind of a leisureness of, and now we deserve to be here too. Even though they didn't have Jamal Murray, the Nuggets that were, they still got swept. So that's what kind of gives Phoenix like the number 2 slot of we deserve to be here. The Hawks have the number 1 slot of we deserve to be here. And I think Phoenix has 2. Maybe the Clippers. I mean, I know Donovan had the ankle, but the Clippers might have the earn to say, no, we did it without Kawhi. Yeah, that's right. The Clippers would, because the Clippers had to do it without Kawhi. So there you go. So Phoenix will be sitting in the 3rd spot of we deserve to be here as far as the finals go, the Eastern Conference finals go. And the Bucks would be number 4 as far as that we deserve to be here. Because not only Kyrie, there's no Harden. I don't care if he's out there. If you're out there, you can give nothing or very little. It's like not being out there. So those are my picks. That's the show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. IG's already went off because my phone was dying. So we're going to end everything on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Listen to VJs on Sportsmanlike Conduct on my YouTube, my Veston Network channel on YouTube through StreamYard and iHeartRadio and Spreaker.com, man. Hey, let's enjoy these games tomorrow. Game 2, Western Conference Finals, Suns and the Clippers. Tight game last night until they pulled away in the end. Can the Clippers come get one on the road? And will the shooting woes kind of show back up that we've seen when a team can play some defense against them like the Suns had? They had a game against the Lakers where their shooting didn't fall and the defense was ratcheted up by the Lakers, and the Suns lost that game. Is there a game like that for the Clippers? And is it in game 2 tomorrow to still? And then Wednesday night, we get the Eastern Conference Finals starting. Game 1, the Hawks at the Bucks, and we'll see what's going on there with Trae Young and Giannis. And I'm excited for that series. I just am. All right, man. VJs and Sports Like Conduct, Spreaker.com. And always remember, people, it costs nothing to be nice, man. It costs nothing to be nice. Smile. Smile's contagious. I love y'all. Peace. Bam. So we're off air there. All right, y'all. Peace. Holla, man. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Make sure you like my channel, Vesson. It's up there in the corner. Y'all see it up there? Where's it at? Right there. How you put? Let me see it. Bam, right there. There it is. Y'all go post that. And y'all go follow my channel, subscribe, man. Go enjoy those games. Y'all leave Ben Simmons alone, man. Poor Ben. Peace.